Alrighty guys, what's going on? So I'm back with the follow-up review for the Berne Merino Wool socks. Now, it's been several weeks since I uploaded that initial review, and I apologize. Same reason why I delayed the Studwell review. I really wanted to try and wear these a little bit more than a week to kind of get an idea of how they would fit after a wash. And I initially said, let me do it after a week because you know what? I only had 4 pairs, and then after I went to go wash, I was like, you know what? Well, how would they fit after the wash? I kind of feel like that's something vital to include in a follow-up review, so here it is. Now, starting off with the negatives about the socks, there really isn't much. Aside from it has a very low count of merino wool in it, it has a very low consistency of merino wool. Only, I believe, it was 20%. For the price, again, it's a very budget-friendly, purchase, if that makes sense. Side note, something I just remembered to mention, the link for those socks, I'm still waiting for it. I know a couple of you guys have asked where the link is, and it's something I actually can't get a hold of, whether it be from Berne Work Gear, whatever it's called, or the site from the store that I bought it from. Kind of baffles me, but nonetheless, let's get back onto this video. When it comes to the downside, again, has to just really be, I kind of wish that you could get a little bit more merino wool. I'd be willing to pay a little bit more, obviously. But there's really nothing I can complain about. They fit very comfortably. And after one wash and one dry, I put them in the dryer, all 4 pairs. I took a bit of a risk. I wasn't too worried because, honestly, it's not like it was 50% merino wool where I'd be really worried that it would shrink or deform, as I would be if, let's say, it was like a sweater. It's not really something you gotta worry about. I put it in for, I think it was like an hour with the rest of my laundry. If you're really concerned, obviously, air drying them is probably the best route to take. Now, getting into the positives of the merino wool socks from Berne, they keep my feet pretty warm. Now, I wore these actually the other day to take out my garbage. Kind of a weird thing, but I'm going to mention how I wore them, with sandals. And it was, I think, like -10. No complaints. I was very comfortable wearing them. My feet were warm. They did breathe, which I love that they breathe. This is something, if you guys remember my initial review, I'm pretty sure I mentioned the one reason why I've kind of hesitated wearing winter, quote, winter socks in the past is because I felt like my feet wouldn't breathe and in turn become really, really hot, which I know sounds pretty much like what you would want, aside from the not breathing part. And the not breathing part is what kind of refrained me from wearing these kind of socks until now. So would I recommend these? We'll say that in just a second. Now, getting into the next thing that I love about these socks, it has to be how antimicrobial these are. I know it sounds kind of weird, but my feet sweat like crazy, and it's nasty, I know. But I'm a bigger guy. I know that it's going to happen. And if I don't want to wear a thin polyester liner, I don't have to, because these have merino wool in them, which naturally in itself is great at wicking away moisture. It's great at allowing your feet not to stink like ass at the end of the day, unless they get wet and your boots stink like mine do. Really embarrassing, but after one wear, they didn't get dirty, which is something that I'm really surprised about, because a lot of times then I have socks that are not black, which is why a majority of my socks are black. My insoles are black. The material on the inside of my boot, like the liner, is not. A lot of cheaper socks, I thought these were going to be part of them, tended to kind of get a bit of that dye rubbing off. One thing that they kind of did rub off in terms of the material was the leather-lined Timberland Pro Premium 6-inch boots that I have. Sorry, not Timberland Pro. The Timberland 6-inch boots, the premiums that I recently bought from Valley Village. Episode 5 of the Valley Village Haul series is going to come up really soon. Really excited for that. But when it comes to stuff like that, those boots, the leather did tend to kind of wear off a little bit. Not a lot, but it was a little bit noticeable. And the fact that they're thick enough, they actually give you a bit of cushioning, which is the next point. They're very, very comfortable to wear around your house. I know it sounds kind of weird, but it's like socks should be comfortable, You should be able to wear them around your house and not complain your feet hurt. Even if you're wearing sandals or slippers or whatever, or some people don't wear sandals or slippers. I don't get it, but hey, it happens. Now, to wrap this video up, would I recommend these out of 10? Absolutely yes. These are a 10 out of 10. I would recommend them. Bargain for the value. This is something I'm going to try and bring this in more often when I do reviews, especially follow-ups. The value that I see for these, do they hold their value? The price that I paid, do I still think it's worth paying that much? Out of 10, an absolute 10. Like I mentioned in the initial review, these would make a great stocking stuffer. Or anything similar for that matter. Merino wool socks, especially the ones with a higher consistency of merino wool, are a great Christmas gift. Sorry guys. I'm that excited to bring that up to you. It's just, they're a great gift for anybody that's looking for a nice wintry sock, or just somebody that you know has always cold feet. Please. Yeah, it's one of those things that honestly, it can be a make it or break it deal, but I definitely think these socks make it. Anyways, guys, out of 10, what would I give these in terms of a temperature rating? Or actually, not even out of 10. The temperatures that I feel, like, and I mean like just a sock with a pair of slippers. To be honest with you guys, comfortable. If let's say you have to go and grab the mail and you happen to go for a bit of a walk, I would say at least maybe minus 10, no colder, because any wind, like I mentioned, these breathe really well. Really comfortable. They breathe well, but if there's any kind of wind, unfortunately that will cause your feet to get cold. If you are wearing these with running shoes, which I don't really recommend it, but if you are, you know, they're a great option. It's not something I would recommend because it's kind of just, you don't wear running shoes with a suit. It's just, that's way out of place. But, yeah. Anyways, guys, until next time, thank you so much for watching. Baffin 6. I'm out.